Oh, hey. Sorry about that. Just getting in some gaming right quick. For those of you that don't know, I am a pretty big video gamer and have been for as long as I can remember, a pretty long time. So today I thought it might be a fun thing to take a look back on the games that influenced me and got me into gaming so much when I was younger, at least the ones that I distinctly remember playing a lot and having a huge impact on me. So, do you have a minute to talk about my top 5 favorite video games from when I was younger that influenced me? Man, I need to get this list thing right. Do you have a minute to talk about the top 5 video games that influenced me as a kid? Greetings, friends, and welcome to the show today. Like I said, today's going to be a very fun episode for me. Now, before we get too into it, I did want to just go over, these are just my opinions. I'm not saying these are even the best video games of all time. These are just the ones that influenced me personally a lot growing up. And before we get too into it, I did want to do one honorable mention, because it was really hard to leave that one off, and that is Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 for the GameCube. I played this game so much. I remember when we only had Budokai 1 and the gameplay was okay. And I just sat there, and then PS2 got it. And I was like, oh my gosh, when is GameCube gonna get it? And I waited like a full year, it felt like, before the sequel came out. And then I finally got Budokai 2, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. I would still play this game to this day, and probably still could. So, hey, if anyone wants to play Budokai 2, I'm down. Anyway, now into the actual list. Cool side note, I have all of these games still, so I'm going to be saving my editor a little bit of work. So instead of having to find images of the box cover, I have the boxes, so that's just a little something extra. You're welcome. Anyway, for number 5, we have Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the GameCube. Now, I didn't get a GameCube until at least 1, maybe 2 years after it had been released, so it wasn't like this was a new game at the time. But for me, I remember going over to friends' houses and I remember playing it, and I was obsessed with this game before I even owned it. It was just an incredible, incredible game. And then when I finally got, I remember it was the 4th GameCube game that I ever got. The very first one was Animal Crossing, and then Spyro Into the Dragonfly. We don't talk about that one. And then Super Smash Bros. Melee and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was the 4th game, which I actually got Smash and this one at the same time. But anyway, I played this game so much, I was even writing like fan fiction for it. Like, it was just like, I wanted to create my own plot line. Not like actually writing, just in my head, like, ooh, I guess not fan fiction, more of what if. Like, ooh, what if Knuckles were to do this level instead of Shadow? What if Shadow did this? Ooh, that would be cool. Like, that kind of stuff. And oh my gosh, I played this game so much. I've even played it recently. That is how much I love this game. So, clearly sits at number 5. It's just a fantastic game. Coming in at number 4, we have the other game that I bought that day for the GameCube, Super Smash Bros. Melee. I don't know what to say about this game other than I love it, and probably played that game more than any other game on the GameCube. And I played the GameCube from like 2 years after it was released until after college. And I think I was in middle school when I got the GameCube. So when I say I played that game more than anything else, that shows you something. It was by far the best game on the GameCube for me. And I remember when I didn't really play the first one all that much because I didn't have an N64. And then but we thought that was all we were going to get back then. And then I remember reading the Nintendo Power that my friend had that had Melee in it. And you got to see all their movesets, all the new fighters. And I was like, what is this? You're going to be able to play as Princess Peach? Who are the Ice Climbers? I don't know who these people are. And what's Bowser doing in there? Oh my gosh, like, it was insane. And then when the game came out, again, I didn't have a GameCube. So when I got to go over to my friends' houses, I would play it then, but of course they were so much better than me because, you know, they had it, I didn't. And then when I finally got it, oh my gosh, I poured my heart and soul into this. I mean, I like I said, this is easily the game I played the most on the GameCube. And, man, I'm struggling to come up with what to say because it was a great game. And, you know, I didn't really have a whole lot of by the time I got it, all of my friends had other consoles and we were playing other things at their houses. So most of Melee I played by myself. So I'm really good as a single player, but once you put other people in there, I'm like, not as good. And that trend still continues to this day, even with Ultimate. But, oh my gosh, guys, there's just not enough good things I can say about Melee. It was a kid's dream come true. Even I still would prefer it to Brawl, and I love Brawl. Just Melee was so good, and if I keep talking, that's all I'm gonna say is keep giving you more reasons why Melee is good. So I'm just gonna leave it at number 4 and say that my number 4 pick is Super Smash Bros. Melee. All right, guys, at number 3 we have Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PC, the original one, not the one EA came out with not too long ago. I loved the original Battlefront, and it was kind of almost hard for me not to include that one, because I remember one night, my mom and I would be in the computer room a lot. Like, she would be doing some work on there, and I would be working or playing games on the other PC. And the original Battlefront came out, and I was a huge fan of it. I played that game so much, and I thought it was so perfect that I remember one night I cried when I was going to bed because I didn't want to stop playing it because I've been waiting for a game like that to come out for so long. I am not kidding you. I legitimately cried. Mom, if you're watching, I apologize. Anyway, and then the sequel dropped. Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I got that game. And it was so good. It made the first one look almost like a piece of trash. They improved on things I didn't even know they needed to improve on. You got to play as Jedi in this one. You really couldn't in the first one. You got actual space battles where you could levels designed to play in vehicles, which in the first one, if you wanted to play a TIE fighter, it was so limited compared to Battlefront 2. It was amazing. Now, I didn't play online, I will say that. And that, do with that what you will. But I played the heck out of that game. I played it so much. And to this day, I have 3 copies of this game for PC because at one point I thought, oh no, I lost it. So I went out and bought it. It was $5. I'm like, all right, sure, I'll get it. And then I lost that one. So I'm like, oh no, I need to go buy it again. Found it again for $3. So then I found the other 2. So I have 3 copies of this game. If that doesn't tell you how much I love this game, I don't know what will. Coming in at number 2, we have Pokemon Blue for the Game Boy Color. Yes, that game still works, and it has my original save file still on it. It's one of the things that I treasure most. Pokemon was huge for me growing up. Like, if Star Wars was here, Pokemon was here. That really hasn't carried into adulthood all that much, but I still do enjoy the franchise. Anyway, Pokemon Blue was the video game that just got me addicted into Pokemon back then. And everyone at that age was. I was 7 or 8 years old when Pokemon came out. So all my friends had Pokemon Blue or Pokemon Red. And we were all that's all we talked about. All we talked about was Pokemon and trading and evolving and the Masingo glitch. And all of that. And oh my gosh, well, I looked at the game cartridge before doing this video, and I put over 300 hours into this game. Actually, more than that. I'm almost a little bit ashamed to say how much, but it's well over 300. Let's just leave it at that. And that's the original Blue version. I have never deleted it. That is the very first one that I've ever done, and I just kept building on top of it. Now, Pokemon Red, I have restarted multiple times just to, do whatever. But my very first Pokemon that I ever owned in a Pokemon game is still on that cartridge, and that is Squirtle, even though now it's a Blastoise level 100, of course, because, of course, I leveled up all the Pokemon. But it's really hard for me to describe how much of an impact that game had on me. Seriously, that was like the only game I played for months, and it was all I talked about for months. Maybe years, who's to say. And I didn't even care when I did care when the sequels came out, and I loved them, and I was so excited for them. But at the same time, I was a little sad because that meant Blue version wasn't the only one anymore. and I still preferred blue. So, is it the best Pokemon game of all time nowadays? No. All that to be said, its impact on me is just incredible, and I really do love this game. Coming in at number 1, we have The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the GameCube. I don't know, yeah, you can kind of see that right there a little bit. In the original GameStop GameCube box. I mean, not original, I bought it used, so that's what it came in. To put this in perspective, growing up, I did play like a couple of Zelda games. I remember in 3rd grade, I played Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages, and I beat Ages. I didn't beat Seasons until this year. I don't remember why, but I didn't. But it was like, okay. And then I played A Link to the Past. I don't honestly remember getting past the 1st or 2nd dungeon, but I got to the 1st or 2nd dungeon like 12 times, but I never got past it because I was like, oh, this game's boring. Ugh, how tragic of me. That's one of my favorite Zelda games nowadays. But anyway, and then in high school, I believe sophomore year or early junior year, me and my friend went to GameStop and we were like, all right, we got a little bit of money to spend. Let's see what we got. And I walk over and I find The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And I'm like, I don't know. I've never really played this game. I've never really gotten into this franchise, but let's give it a shot. And my life has not been the same since. I love that game so much that I play it once a year, if not more than that. And that was, 10, 12, 15 years. I don't know. I'm not good at math, but a lot of years ago. And I still play it once a year. I just love this game. I remember it took me a little bit to get used to the control system, like the lock-on system at first, but that was because I didn't play Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. I mean, I have now, but I hadn't back then. And so this game was the one that got me into Zelda. Y'all, that's a big deal because Zelda is a huge part of my life. I have a Master Sword, Hylian Shield, and a costume of Link, which you guys can go check out in the other video that I did. Anyway, but about hookshot, so that's what it was about. Anyway, this is the game that started it all for me. This is the game that got me into The Legend of Zelda, and it really has gotten me into a lot of different franchises as a result. And like I said, I love this game so much that I beat it once a year. Sometimes, some years, I've done it more than that. I think I did it twice in 2020 just because, well, that was 2020. But I don't know how else to say. I love this game. It's my favorite video game of all time. And I just love this game. I just love this game. I love everything. I mean, it has its flaws. I'm not going to say it doesn't. We're all aware that it does, but it's just a beautiful story with a beautiful, beautiful gameplay. And I just don't know how else to say. I love this game. I love this game. I love this game. I love this game. Do you get the point yet? I love this game. All right, boys and girls, looks like our minute is up. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed my list. I'm sure mine looks very different from yours. So let me know in the comment section down below, what are some games that influenced you early on as a gamer? I would love to kind of hear it because like I said, all of ours are going to be a little bit different. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said earlier, if you disagree with any of my picks, that's your opinion, and I respect that. So let me know what yours are in the comments down below. I would love to have a discussion with you about that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and have an awesome day. Go play an old video game just to make you smile a little bit.